so I got dropped, and I'm gonna find out why. What we have here today is the Zwift Racing League Season 2, Stage 3, Category B, 6 laps of the 2 bridges loop. There's a point segment at the reverse JWB, and it's one of my favorite segments in the game. Steep climb up, gain some speed on the descent, and then a proper 10-second sprint through the segment. Less than 3 minutes in, we are already knocking at the door of the first segment of the day. The plan is to hang with the group because that's the fastest way down. I can catch my breath before sprinting, and we can already see some of the riders are already pushing early, going for the first across the line points, which is kind of a good way to get points for the team. But I wanted to see how I fare against some of these heavy hitters in the division for the fastest through segment points instead. So kick in a little, then I'll go into the tuck position, catch my breath before we go into the sprint. So I know I have to kick it in before the segment starts, and here we go. So not great, but that's to be expected after getting set by the climb. I'm also wary of blowing out early, a bit of self-preservation because we are doing six laps of this, and yeah, Richmond still haunts me. So either way, I still have a lot to work on, a lot of room for improvement. Another dangerous spot in this course is the 900 meters climb up the Zwift KOM. So if you think about it, we are actually doing neuromuscular work 12 times in today's race. So as a mid-Cat B rider trying to steal points here and there, I really have to be careful and selective about what I want to do. Again, self-preservation is key for me. I don't want to put out unnecessary watts. So right now, just trying to stay in the pack's draft, punch through the steep section, and hope that's enough to stay with the pack. So by the end of the first lap, half of today's participants were dropped, and I'm going to be dropped soon as well. So the exact same thing here, punch through the climb, rest on the descent, and then sprint through the segment. So no points for me again, have to conserve my energy a bit. Just hoping to get my chances when the group gets thinner in the later laps. But obviously there are no later laps for me. So while making my way to the Zwift KOM, my heart rate started acting up. So it does this every now and then. Supraventricular tachycardia. So I looked it up. Supposedly harmless, but I got spooked a little. So I carried this dumbass heart rate to the Zwift KOM, trying to ignore it, activated my power up, just trying to sit in, and within seconds I was at the back of the pack. So an attack happened at the steep end and I was completely caught off guard. So that was an amazing attack. So upon realization, I tried to push to get back to the front of the group, but the guys at the front, they were relentless. So right now the block became a line. I don't know what's gonna happen. By that point, it seems like I'm at the end of the second group. So I could punch it to close the gap, or I could use the group behind me to catch the front group. So visually, the group behind me seems big enough to catch the front group. So I made the lazy decision to use the group behind me. So that turned out to be quite a bad decision because looking at it right now, I'm 39th and half was dropped in that first lap. So the bulk of the riders was already in front of me. So lesson learned, I wasn't strong enough, I was lazy, and I can't count. So on the other hand, I can't help but think that this is just karma for dropping that hit a few days before the race. That might be it, or one of the contributing factors, I don't know. So anyway, there's nothing in this race for me anymore apart from finishing the best I can. So I died a little every time I have to go past this point segment because there's nothing for me to do. Life's not good the minute you're off that front group. So peaceful group riding though. The only thing from getting dropped in this race was that it kept me a little more fresh for the same race 1 hour later. I'm actually helping out another team due to a lack of manpower. So same race twice, 1 hour apart. To make things a little more fun, Neil came up with a plan to try to finish as best as we can. That involves us punching through the Zwift KOM. Hopefully we can break away from the rest of the riders and finish strong. And it worked. By the end of the climb, we have successfully distanced ourselves from the group and we have positioned ourselves for the best finish in the given circumstances. And God, looking at the map right now, that front group must have wreaked havoc in that last lap. I mean, look at the stranded riders in front of us. Just everywhere. Anyway, one hard push for the finish and we are done for today's race. 35th out of 82 with no points, so that was disappointing. I finished 14 out of 62 in the race later with a few points here and there. So this race got me thinking about what I should do next. Sprinters Playground. The competition is a lot stronger and I don't know, I might have to go into survival mode again. Really don't know. So till next time, happy Zwifting.